philosophers have tried so hard to find.
Me too.
Tell me what you'd say that truly makes it real.
I don't know, I'm sorry.
What's your definition of it?
Sing.
What's your definition of it?
Sing.
What's your definition of it? How's it make you feel?
Let's go. I try to find it in the ladies like, see, I was born in the 80s.
Hey guys, it's Curly Proverbs, and today I'm going to be coming at you with my tips for losing weight postpartum. This video has got tips for if you are losing weight postpartum or if you're just regularly losing weight. You'll be able to find tips for both, okay? So I will start by saying that there is absolutely no rush for you to lose weight postpartum. You do need to give yourself some time to heal. After I'd given birth, I weighed myself about a week afterwards, and I felt like I had lost a lot of the water weight, and I had actually gained 35 pounds, which is quite an amount of weight to lose. Can I just say, first off, I was not thinking about weight loss or anything along those lines until at least 3 months had passed. Now, you don't want to be getting all active and, you know, doing things like crunches or weights straight off the bat. I waited 3 months because basically when you are pregnant, your ab muscles, if you imagine this is like the right and left set of muscles, they actually do that and split to allow your uterus to expand forward. So literally it's like pretty much torn. They get torn apart. Your hips and everything get kind of realigned and like kind of move out of their usual space. You've got relaxin that has relaxed your tendons, and just everything is really, you know, out of whack. So whilst I would say it's fine to go walking if you feel up to it, I really wouldn't rush. I really would take your time, and also look into getting your physician to check if you have diastasis, which is where the abdominal muscles split apart or come apart during pregnancy. You need to make sure that it's no more than 1 centimetre or 2 before you start doing any real exercise. So make sure you check with your physician, get them to actually check your diastasis. Now, after I had gone to my 6-week appointment, my doctor cleared me to exercise, but I decided I actually wanted to take longer before I went to exercise. My doctor didn't actually check my diastasis. I ended up having to check for myself. One key thing for the weight coming off without me actually making that much effort at all was breastfeeding. You know how great breastfeeding is for your baby already, but it's also really, really good for you. It reduces your chance of things like getting breast cancer, and you know, you actually use more calories breastfeeding than you do in the last trimester of being pregnant, which is the trimester you use the most energy. So actually you are burning off loads and loads of calories just to produce your breast milk. 3 months passed before I actually started doing any, you know, formal exercise or Pilates. I really wanted to give myself that time to heal, like I said. And by the time I was 6 months postpartum, I had lost all the 35 pounds that I was having the goal of losing. So what I did was I started off with walking. I would go to the park. I would just do rounds with my baby in her buggy, and you know, I would even count walking around. If I was going around the shops and stuff, I would count that as walking too. So I just started with walking, and then I moved on to Pilates. And you know, I went to Pilates for 6 weeks before I even considered doing any weights in the gym. I was going to Pilates a couple of times a week, and that was for about 50 minutes, and that really was helpful. You really want to slowly build up the strength of your pelvic floor muscles. You really want to strengthen your back. I was getting really terrible back and hip pain, and Pilates really did just help me so much. So you do want to start building your muscles that are deep beneath. So you actually have layers upon layers of muscles, and a lot of people are worried about their abs, how their abs look, you know, do they look toned, do they look lean? But really what is probably more important for like supporting your structure underneath is the deeper muscles, so the muscles that are deeper down, and Pilates actually helps to exercise those and also helps the diastasis to reverse. And what you don't want to be doing is you don't want to be doing crunches. Stay away from any ab exercises that involve you doing crunches. What you want to be doing is deep tissue work, and then eventually you can do ab work, but you don't want to be doing any crunches. Really, I have not done them since I had the baby at all, but I have been able to get abs back. They're not washboard, but you know, I've got my tone back in my stomach. Now, the reason why you want to stay away from the crunch is because if you have diastasis, which most women do have, and let's say, you know, it's not fully gone back, when you're exercising, the muscle which would keep the soft tissue behind the muscle from protruding out is torn, it's not healed. So what ends up happening is you end up with a pooch because soft tissue starts to move forward out through that gap, and it's very, very difficult, if at all possible, to reverse. So you really want to stay away from ab work that involves you doing crunches. You guys know that I am into clean eating, and whilst I didn't go to 90% clean eating postpartum, I would say I went to about 80% clean eating.
So this is an example of breakfast. I've got a piece of wholemeal toast with a bed of spinach, and then some grilled turkey rashers and eggs scrambled with avocado and tomato. I've put black pepper on the top, and I've also put flaxseed, ground flaxseed on top as well. Now the egg has been cooked with no salt. I just used garlic and paprika. And my mini me, Jaya, is going to be having pretty much the same meal. She's also got some flaxseed on her eggs. And here she comes. Good morning. Good morning. You want to see what Mama's doing?
So that means no fried foods, no added sugar, just eating fresh, homemade, lean, grilled foods is basically what I started to do. The other thing that I did was I ate more paleo meals, which meant I was cutting out grain. I didn't actually go so far as cutting out dairy, although in individual meals I didn't have dairy. So I would have 1 or 2 meals per day where I was eating paleo. So it's not a carb-free diet. You can have things like sweet potato, that's fine, but you know, you're not having grains and wheat and all that sort of stuff. So our bodies are basically more adapted to breaking down paleo foods, so you're less likely to get bloating and water retention, and more likely to get trim and, you know, svelte. Saying that, I still kept eating full fat foods. So if I was having dairy, it would be full fat. I did not shy away from fats. I think this mentality that you need to shy away from fats is just completely like outdated. For example, if you have a load of carbs or a load of sugar, that can actually be converted into fat and stored in your body. So, you know, it's kind of silly just avoiding fat. What you need to do is avoid bad fats. You know, so for example, if I went and bought a bag of sugar, it could say 100% fat-free. But really, is it actually good for me? It really is actually beneficial to eat. So you'll find a lot of things that say that they're fat-free are actually really high in sugar. So you need to be very careful. If you do choose to go fat-free or low fat, then that's up to you. But I will say that, I did have full fat food just to give me the energy that I needed. I was postpartum and I was breastfeeding, or I am breastfeeding. So, I needed the calories. So things like avocado, full fat milk, full fat cheese. My dad watched a documentary where he said that the semi-skim milk went through a process to remove the fat that actually left the milk blue, and they had to do a chemical reaction to reverse it to get the milk looking white again. Right, okay, exactly. So I did stick with my full fat and just get more active. So I got this tip from Gillian, the lady from The Biggest Loser, I can't remember her surname, but she said that her top tip was to cut back on your salt, because then you stop with water retention, because a lot of people have water retention and they don't realise it, and that helps you to get your definition around your abs and your arms, etc. And actually a really helpful way for me to start applying it in more ways than I thought was when I started to wean my daughter. Not wean her, but I started to introduce solid foods. So I started doing that at about 5.5 months. I started to introduce solid foods. And with babies, you can't actually give them any salt. So I was there making her eggs. I was making her lentils without any salt. I actually realized that I didn't have to add salt to my fish. I didn't have to add salt to my eggs, and I didn't have to add salt to my lentils. So I've started to cut down my salt overall, and some things had no salt added to them whatsoever. And it really made a difference to my definition. It really made a difference to me losing the final 5 stubborn pounds, because I kind of got to the point where I'd lost 30 pounds, and then that last 5 pounds I wanted to lose was just not going. And so cutting down that salt really helped me in the last couple of weeks leading up to the 6-month period to get that last 5 pounds off. The other thing that I did was meal prep. Now the thing is, when you have a baby, you tend to do one of two things if you don't meal prep. You tend to either completely miss meals, which is like detrimental to your body, to your recovery, to your breastfeeding. You can miss meals because you're so busy doing this, that and the other, and you're running around, and that's detrimental. Or you can get yourself to the point where you're so hungry because you haven't been eating consistently that you're just like ravenous, and you're like, I need to eat something, I'm breastfeeding, I'm tired, I'm entitled. And then you like go get yourself a burger or something like, that you really shouldn't be eating. So I found that seasoning all of my meat on a Monday for the week, so I'd season like meat and fish and then just grill it up as the days went by, and just have that with a salad and maybe some cauliflower rice. That really helped. But the other thing that I did sometimes was I actually did meal prep where I cooked everything. Like I cooked all the veg and all the meat in one day and just froze it, and then just when I took it out, I might make myself a salad, or if I needed to just eat, it was a balanced meal that I could just eat, which was, which had my protein and had my vitamins and minerals and all the stuff that I actually needed. So I would say that would be my biggest tip. My biggest tip would be to meal prep, because I can't tell you how many times I found myself caught out because I didn't have my snacks or my food prepared, and I just ended up eating absolutely rubbish. This tip of meal prepping was absolutely hands down the most important thing for me losing my weight, and because it was so important, I've actually recorded a video on it which I will be uploading soon. So yeah, I hope you found this video useful, and yeah, comment below, what is your struggle? How are you going with your weight loss? Are you on a weight loss journey? Are you about to start it? Are you just thinking about it? Are you like £85 down. You know, I'm really curious. Let me know below. Also, keep in touch on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest. It's Curly Proverbs. I'd love to hear from you. And yeah, keep in touch. Blessings. Bye. So for more clean eating ideas, be sure to head over and check out my Instagram. It's Curly Proverbs, and I've got posts of breakfasts, lunches, dinners, snacks, and I've also got like a clean eating videos and how to make some green smoothies as well. So yeah, be sure to check that out here on my channel. I'm going to link all of that stuff below. Be sure to check out my other videos. I have lots of stuff on hair and beauty favorites and just general life. So yeah. Oh, and subscribe, hit that button.